You know that feeling, right? You're in the middle of a conversation and then your mind just goes blank. We've all been there. So in this explainer, we're going to learn 7 really useful English phrases for when your memory decides to take a little vacation. This way you can sound confident, even when you're searching for your words.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk a little bit about why this forgetting thing is so common. Then, we'll dive into phrases for 3 different situations: when you lose your words, when a memory is hiding, and when you need to ask for a little help. And then, of course, we'll wrap everything up with a review and some practice.
All right, first up, let's talk about the problem itself, the forgetting problem. I mean, why does our brain do that to us sometimes?
Have you ever been right in the middle of telling a great story? You're super into it, and then, bam, the next part is just gone. You're just kind of left there, trying to figure out what you were about to say. It's a completely normal human thing. It happens to absolutely everyone. So instead of feeling awkward or just saying, "I forget," let's learn some phrases that can make you sound way more natural and confident in English. So what do you actually say in those moments? Let's check out our first batch of phrases. These are perfect for when you lose your words right in the middle of talking. This one is a classic. It's perfect for those times you get distracted, maybe your phone buzzes or someone interrupts you. It paints this great picture of your thoughts all lined up like a train, and then suddenly, they've gone off the rails. So let's break this down a bit. A train of thought is just that connected series of ideas in your head. So when you lose it, you're saying that connection is broken. It's such a great visual way to describe that feeling, isn't it? Here's another super common one. This is for when you hear something, but it disappears almost immediately. It's like the information just passed your brain without stopping. Okay, a little warning with this one. You gotta be careful. It kind of implies you weren't really listening. So it's best to use this when you're talking about yourself. Like, "He told me his name, but it went in one ear and out the other." You probably don't want to say this to your boss after they've given you instructions. Okay, now let's switch gears. What about that other kind of forgetting? You know, when you know the information is in your brain somewhere, but you just can't find it. This is a fantastic and really common phrase. You'd use "it slipped my mind" when you forget something you were supposed to remember. You know, like an appointment, a deadline, or maybe even a friend's birthday. And the meaning here is a little different. It's not that you weren't paying attention. It's more like the memory just escaped. It's actually a very polite way to say you're sorry for forgetting something. Oh, this is the most frustrating feeling in the world. I think we've all been there. You know the answer, a person's name, a song title, but you just can't grab it in that moment. This is such an awesome, expressive phrase because it shows you're really trying to remember. It kind of lets the other person know what's happening, so they'll give you a second to think.
All right, here are 2 more really useful phrases. On the one hand, you've got "it doesn't ring a bell." You use this when a name or a place sounds kind of familiar, but you just can't place it. And then there's "I had a senior moment." This one's a funny, lighthearted way to excuse yourself for forgetting something simple, no matter how old you actually are.
Okay, so you've forgotten something. It happens. But what do you say when you need the other person to help you out?
This is such a great, polite way to ask someone to give you a few more details to help you remember. It's almost like you're asking them to hit the refresh button on your brain's webpage. Now, you really have to listen to the tone here because it's super important. Changing "can you" to "let me" completely flips the meaning. "Can you refresh my memory" is a polite question. But "let me refresh your memory," whoa, that usually sounds like a threat, like you're about to remind someone of something bad they did. Big difference.
And there you have it, all 7 phrases. We've covered a lot of ground pretty quickly, so let's do a quick recap to make sure it all sticks. This slide is basically your cheat sheet. It breaks down all 7 phrases and tells you exactly when to use them. Seriously, this is a great one to take a screenshot of. Keep it on your phone so you can peek at it before your next English conversation.
Okay, so we've reviewed the phrases, but how do you actually get them to stick in your long-term memory? Well, let me share a powerful little technique with you.
Mnemonics. They're basically just clever little shortcuts for your brain. You create a memorable connection, maybe a funny rhyme or a weird picture in your head, and it gives your brain a hook to hang that new information on. It makes it so much easier to find later.
And you know what's really cool? These feelings are totally universal. Check out this comment from our source material. In French, the expression for "it's on the tip of my tongue" is almost the exact same. It just goes to show you that this feeling is something people experience all over the world.
But of course, the absolute best way to make these phrases stick is to actually use them, right? Information is great, but practice is what really counts. So I'll leave you with this question. Which one of these phrases are you going to try to use this week? Just picking one to focus on is a great first step to making it a real part of your English vocabulary.